I was trying to figure out how to explain the process of estimation. When you have a small requirement, can you put a field on a form, for example? It's kind of easy. But if you have a much bigger and more complex requirements, such as integration, data migration, different technologies, so on and so forth, then it becomes a little bit more challenging. But how do I explain this to someone who's not familiar with the process? And I came up with something that I'd like to share with you, an analogy. Some time ago, I had a very interesting flight experience. This is many, many years ago. My dad was an airline pilot, and he flew with Malaysian Airlines and Air Asia X. And in between, he and his cabin crew were seconded to Air Maldives, and that was around the time I just finished my exam in Malaysia, and I was about 16, and he took me on one of his flights. And Maldives is a collection of islands, and I had the privilege of sitting behind him in the cockpit called a jump seat. I sat in a jump seat. It was quite exciting to see my dad in action flying the plane. Now, as we approached, remember that Maldives is a collection of islands. All I could see was an expanse of sea. And I thought, how are you going to land there? If I was designing the runway strip for the airport, I would make it much bigger so I could see it as I was coming down. I can't remember how far we were away, but we were approaching and I still couldn't see anything. But as we got closer and closer, things started crystallizing into view. The different islands came into view, and suddenly I saw the airport, or rather, I saw the landing strip, which was the airport, which was the island. And as we grew closer, that became clearer, and it became more obvious that, yeah, we can actually land on it. But from miles away, I couldn't see it. Luckily, my dad was able to land it, and otherwise I wouldn't be here. The point I'm trying to make is that the further away you are from the object, the harder it is to estimate, to see clearly what that looks like. And that's the thing about estimation. In the beginning, when an organization believes that they have a business problem that can be solved by a CRM such as Salesforce or Microsoft CE, it's quite fuzzy because you're very far away from what it is you're actually implementing. And it takes a bit of time and more questioning to understand what it is you want, that the estimation gets better. As an example, in the beginning, the requirement might just be, I'd like to replace our legacy system with Salesforce. I don't like this old legacy system that I have. Okay, can you tell me more? Well, let me know, how much does this cost? It could range from 50,000 to 50 million. So the ballpark figure is really, really big because I don't know what it is that we're looking at. Oh, we have currently one system, but they kind of integrate currently with about 12 other systems, I think. Okay, it's probably not going to be 50,000 at this end, and it's probably not going to be 50 million. Maybe, not quite sure yet. So of these 12 systems, how much data are you going to bring across, and what volume of data are you going to bring across? The answer might be, we are not going to integrate with anything in this new system. It's going to be standalone. Your estimation goes down very significantly because complexity disappears. Or it could be we still want to maintain all 12 integrations, but not only that, we are going to parallel run with the old system for 6 months for our in-flight projects or in-flight orders that's currently not closed yet. Then complexity becomes a lot bigger. So it's this process of talking. The more you talk, the more you discuss, the more you discover, brings you closer and closer to the end requirement, end object. And that crystallizes a lot more things, and the estimation becomes a lot more accurate. And the more detail you go down to, right down to, okay, what field are you going to bring across from this other system? And how live do you want that field to be? Can it be data from yesterday? Or does it have to be real time? Those kind of questions crystallize the estimation even more, because now we know the mechanics of how we want to surface data, and the details become much clearer. So it's not quite as easy as you think putting together a good estimation. Yes, you need a really good team who's experienced and who can do that well, but it's also a process of discovery for both parties, both the organization and a consulting partner, to get to that point. That's the tip that I wanted to share today about estimating and the process of getting to a accurate number. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care and have a great day.